What's up, guys? Good morning. What a killer week, huh? Now, I never said the volume was great. I never said the range was great, but we still had a killer week. And that goes to show that if you're following a sound, proven approach, what do I mean by proven? I mean proven beyond a reasonable doubt with metrics, with data, through Excel sheets or however you tracking data, right? We have to be objective in our trading. Something is too subjective, it leaves room for error, right? It's very cold here in Chi-Town this morning. It's got some sniffles going on, if you will. So please forgive me for that. I never know how loud my microphone is, so bear with me. So how's everyone doing? How's everyone's week? Wow, there's a ton of you guys in here. It's awesome to see all of you guys in here. Let's see, what did I miss? Omaha, what's up? Trader Victory, guys. We have a new member to the room. Her name is Trader Victory. Very, very nice gal. And we're really happy to have her. We also have Caleb here today. He's a new member. We have so many new members. Forgive me if I'm forgetting your name. We have like 5 or 6 new members this week. So Trader Victory just joined, and we're really excited to see all the new members here. And we thank you all for being here. In this room, things go a little bit differently. As you guys know, there's absolutely no bullying. There's absolutely no feelings that you guys can't talk to the mods or ask questions. And that's something that we feel very strongly about. I have a zero tolerance policy for trolls. And you guys know that if I see it, you're booted. Okay? You're out. Okay? I'm not telling you how to live your life, but you will not live that way inside of this room. That's all I can say. So the members don't deserve it, and I personally don't feel like being a babysitter to, some bad egg or whatever, however you want to say it. So this community is a very safe place for people to learn. It's a very positive place for people to hang out at, meet friends, talk, and you'll never see anyone of the mods scoffing at anyone's question. We encourage you guys to speak up, ask questions, talk to me about your mistakes, see if I can help you. That's what this is all about. How can I help you? And guess what? Some of you also help me. It goes both ways. I'm not this all-knowing professional trader, because I'm not a professional trader. I'm not a millionaire trader. I don't have all the answers. And guess what? Sometimes the stock is ripping. I'm scrambling with open positions or whatever. I'll see one of you drop a line and say, hey, this has news. This is what's going on. Like, wow, bet. You just saved me, the whatever, 20, 30 seconds, which we know is crucial. 20, 30 seconds is like, we're talking minutes in the market time. Sometimes longer, it seems, right? So community is created this way for a reason, so that we all can come together, learn, and grow together. And some of you guys have even dropped things sometimes that I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. I had no idea this company put out this filing. That's a good piece of information. Make a mental note. So that's how we like to have, that's the vibe that we like to keep in the community. And we've had nothing but positive reviews, and we intend to keep it that way. And please drop me a line. My email, let me know how you enjoyed this week. We're looking for testimonials. We're looking for suggestions even. If you're not a happy camper, that's fine as well. Come and talk to us and let us know how we can improve. Like I say a lot of times, guys, before we start this show, I'm not the best trader, okay? And I'm also not the best speaker. Like I say, if I was a radio show host, this would be a lot easier, but I'm simply not. So please bear with me. We're all kind of learning as we go, and we appreciate all of you guys being here. Everything that we discuss on the Micah Yo Show is for educational purposes only. It's not intended as investment advice, as none of us are registered to give such advice. So everything that we talk about is my opinion, and I can't wait to get into this. SNNA, first thing on the list today. You know what? No trade on this. No trade on this at all. I admit I was eyeballing it. I was waiting for it, and it just never quite got high enough for what I needed, where I needed it to be for it to make sense to me. Now, okay, what do I mean by make sense to me? Well, as you guys know, I'm very data-driven, very metric-driven. I'm a systematic trader, which means I follow a systematic approach. What does that mean? That means that for every trade that I take, I have a ton of data behind that move, confirming to me objectively that this is a valid trade setup. What constitutes as a valid trade setup, in my opinion, is it has to have proper reward to risk. So what does that mean? I'm going to go into everything today. What does that mean? What does proper mean? You know, one thing that I kind of frown upon when I see on Twitter is someone will say, this was a great trade setup. Okay, that's great, buddy. What is a great trade setup? What constitutes as a great trade setup? You're kind of, you know, it was a great preview to the movie, and then like when the movie's starting, there's no movie. Like, what do you know, like expand. Let's expand on that. What does that mean? Well, there's many different forms of successful trades, right? It doesn't always have to be 3-to-1. It doesn't always have to be a 1-to-1. As you guys know, if you have a 1 reward to a 1 risk, a 50% win rate is break even. Okay, 51% and above is now in the profit. Now, of course, you want much higher than that, but if you take that same simple math and you have a trade with a 2-to-1 reward to risk, your win rate can now be much lower and you'll still be in the profit. If you have a system with a 3-to-1 reward to risk, your win rate can be even lower than that and you can still be in the money. So there's many different forms of successful speculation in the market, and SNNA, being that it did gap, but it didn't gap up a whole lot, this would qualify as my short number 2 setup, which is basically, it is a 2-to-1, but for these 2-to-1 setups, I need more meat on the move. You can probably understand that for this trade to work, I need some range. I need some meat on the move. I am seeing here that I could have made maybe 12 to 15 cents on a quick scalp. In all honesty, guys, I missed it. You know, I missed it. I didn't capitalize on this today because I missed it. I don't even know if I would have had Barros either. I just never even got that far into it. So SNNA, hey, you know, if you made money on SNNA, great job today. I did not. Okay, CRON. I can't help but laugh when I look at this stock, and you guys know why. It's because yesterday, for those of you who were here, we had a Micah Yo Show, and we just totally destroyed CRON. We nailed CRON all day. I called out a lot of shorts. I called out a few longs, big longs, and I don't know. I don't know if any of them didn't work. And full disclosure, that rarely happens, by the way. I use, when I say we, I'm talking about all of us as a whole, but really when I'm posting an idea, it's me. And for better or for worse, that would be my mistake. So it was all just clear skies yesterday on CRON. I mean, if you guys go back, if you have the time or the patience, you can go back and look at all of my alerts on CRON yesterday. It was pretty sick, not gonna lie. It was a big day, and I'm very happy about it. Now, today in pre-market, I talked to you guys about CRON, and I said right away, what am I looking at on CRON? Well, like I said yesterday, 2475 is the next resistance point for me. And if you guys missed yesterday, and if you're new members, then I'm going to go over it again, but I'm going to go over it a little bit later after we talk about the recap. Okay, so we'll get into like strategy talk towards the end. So those of you who already know what I'm going to say can cut out, and those who don't can stick around, because that's a lesson that we've went over many times, and I don't want to give anyone a headache. You know, I try not to talk about the same things every day, but people keep asking me about the same things every day, so I have to speak on that. CRON, this is not backside. Okay, in my opinion, this is not backside. A lot of people got caught shorting CRON today. Okay, now I went long twice on CRON today at the open. I thought it was going to be a very big breakout. I was wrong. I barely got out with my shirt, and I did take a loss on it, but a very small loss, and it tanked. And I said, okay, well, I know this game. I've been doing this for many years. I know this game. Okay, this is not backside, but this is what they want you to believe. Okay, so when you see a stock crack and break down and fade that aggressively, everyone is thinking short, short, short. This is over. It's done. It's toast. And I'm not thinking that way. I'm thinking, okay, touche, you caught me. What are you up to? Well, what are you up to? I'm personally thinking that this is a huge trap. Okay, you guys know that. You guys know that that's, you know, in the markets, things are not always, you cannot take everything for face value. Okay, why is that? Well, because there is a large presence of capitalization on people's mistakes. Now, how do people make mistakes? Okay, it's by being faked out. It's by setups that look like it's a breakout, and then it's actually a liquidity event, and there's dumping into that buy volume. Okay, that is basically what my whole approach consists of. I'm always looking for the opposite side of what everyone thinks is an absolutely safe bet. I'm always the guy that's like, wait a second, you know? I mean, you guys may have heard this, you know, before, and I'm sure you have, but if everyone says that it's a long, if everyone says it's a long, it's probably not a great long, right? If everyone says it's a short, it's probably not going to be an easy short. Let me scroll up here. I want to see what you guys are saying. J-Spec says, Micah, what's up, J-Spec? Nice to see you, man. For those of you who don't know, J-Spec is a super funny guy. I love when he comes in to chat because he's always making me laugh. Maya says, yo, bro, what's up, Maya? Captain Ramen, Bento, J-Bird, what's up, Jamie? AZ Alex, Omaha, Ricky, View, Zachem, Gino, Wild Thing, Omaha. Not sure if I said Omaha before. I think I did. Trader Victory says she appreciates the kind remarks and the welcome. Absolutely. Maya says questions are encouraged. Yes, I second that. JSpec says new members Micah Yo pinned some golden rules in the main Stock Talk room. Check it out. Yes, so guys, let me know if you want me to go over the golden rules really quickly today. I will keep it under 3 minutes, but I guess I'll leave that to you guys. I posted my email. Please leave a testimonial or drop a suggestion in the email for us. We would like to hear from you. Wild Thing says, hello, Micah. Want to learn fib price sequencing and harmonic analysis. Oh my God. You're talking about learning some of the most advanced methodology that I know. I love it. Okay, so first, I speak a lot about Fibonacci, right? Resources for Fibonacci. Now, I've gotten so many questions about this that I've started to compile a list of books that I have in my bookshelf that I found value in. So next week, I'm going to give you guys that list. These are not affiliate links. I'm not getting any money from this. Go and buy them from Barnes & Noble or Amazon, or hell, if you can get them from frickin' Goodwill somehow for $1 or whatever, do that, you know, or if you can somehow get it for free. I don't know, but I suggest that you guys get these books, and like I said, they're not going to be an affiliate link whatsoever. It's just to help you guys. Of course, I encourage everyone to do their own research, as I am not saying that I have all the answers, of course. These books just helped me. There may be other books out there that I don't know of that are really awesome hits as well. So, but I'm going to share with you guys my list anyway. I hope that helps, Wild Thing. And as far as price sequencing and harmonic analysis, that's way down the road. That may even be some kind of special webinar or something for people who are interested, because most people they're still trying to figure out the basics and stuff, the golden rules, they're still learning, and I really appreciate you asking about that, though, because that's something that I speak about all the time, and I'm happy that you guys find interest in it. Ricky says, wow, AMRS, let's check it out. Pause that thought, let's check it out. Yeah, big dump, huge dump. I needed to go a little bit further, and then I'll have a little live trade action for you guys. Bento says, love this community, everyone is great. Thank you so much, Bento, for the kind words. Ricky says, so true. Omaha says, LOL. Shaka Mia says, yes. Jaybird says, haha, yes, let's learn that one. VU, we trade penny stocks here, so this fib stuff might not work. More about support resistance and mass psychology. Go to public library. Get those books for free, and you can renew it as much as you want. So, VU, we do have to capitalize on the psychology of the masses. That goes without saying, no matter what system you're trading, in my opinion. Whether it's a Fibonacci system, it's Ichimoku, basic support and resistance, whether it's, your primarily tape, your tape reading for your executions and your ideas. It's all about, it all comes down to human behavior and psychology. Markets change, but human behavior does not. Okay, greed is something that's always going to exist in the market. The greediness, I wrote a blog on it. Please go to Matt Has Money and check out my blog on greed. Okay, a lot of what we see in the market is greed. whether it's looking to make more money or making very poor decisions because you don't want to lose the money. The averaging down, the FOMO, a lot of it can just be stemmed back to greed, in my opinion. So it's a very important thing to talk about, and that just, greed falls under the umbrella of psychology. Wild Thing says, looking forward to it. View, I'm a big Fib user and Elliott Wave, but not for penny stock. Yeah, we all use different things. I use Fibonacci for all of my trades, small cap and large cap. And I think that it's fair to say that this is not necessarily the best way to trade. It's just the way that I trade. Ian says, I thought you were going to post commentary so we can listen to them later. Have only seen a few from Max and Bobby. Did you post them somewhere else? So Ian, thank you so much for noticing that and for the message. I've been doing a lot of work for the chat, and I have a ton of videos that just haven't been uploaded yet. We've had a ton of really cool Micah Yo shows, and you know, I think sometime, you know what? We'll post one today. How about that, Ian? We'll post one today. We'll post one or two today in the room for you guys to review. I'd really like to post yesterday's, and we might even post today's. We'll do that. Thanks for the mention. No problem, Ian. It's basically a compliment. You know, you guys are like, hey, where's the Micah Yo shows? Can't get upset about that, right? I mean, you guys want to see the Micah Yo shows. So I'm humbled and I'm honored that you guys want to go over the shows. You know, that's all I have to say about that. I thank you for your time. Okay, so enough blabbing. I think that okay, so AMRS. Now, if you guys, well, you guys know, I tweeted a live call to all of Twitter. Everyone saw it. Everyone's, you know, talking to me about it, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not about the alert, okay? Like I say, it's not about the winning alert. It's not about the money made or the money lost or anything like that. It's not about the congratulations, the pat on the back. None of that matters, okay? All that matters is the methodology behind the move and identifying the patterns, okay? It's about pattern recognition. So an alert is just a grain of sand in a mountain. It does not matter if my alerts win, my alerts lose, okay, it doesn't matter. What matters for you guys and why I'm even alerting price is because you guys can see firsthand my methodology, my approach, my psychology behind the move. When I speak in chat, when I'm speaking on Micah Yo Show, I can pull up a chart and you guys can pull up your own chart and follow along with me. And you guys can see, okay, this is what Micah says about this. Now, granted, I'm not the best trader. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying that this is my approach. So we hope that that's of value to you guys so that you guys can see. Now, on something like CRON, this is something I've been speaking about all week, how we went from, in the beginning of the week, you guys were here, and I said, you know what? CRON now qualifies as backside. Okay, it looks like tomorrow is going to be ready, and it's going to crack, and it looks like it's going to be backside. Who remembers me saying that in the beginning of the week? I was very vocal about that, and I said, I think CRON is going to break down here, but I'm going to wait for confirmation. Then we move over to, let's see. So on January 6th, we had very defined backside move, okay? So February 6th, we had a very defined backside move, okay? February 7th, which was yesterday, I was not convinced that it was still a short, and I said, you know what? I truly believe that this thing is going to squeeze, and it did. We caught a ton of move on that, okay? So today, February 8th. Sorry guys, I'm managing some positions, so if you guys are like, what? Yeah, that's why. February 8th. I'm still convinced that this is not done, and I still think that this is going higher, okay? At the time of this show, on February 8th, it is 11:28 a.m. Price is at 21.06, okay? I don't believe that CRON is done here. I really don't. It may be, of course, you know, that's not to say that I'm going to be right, but when I'm taking an objective look at something, keyword here is objective, okay? Now, when I'm gauging a trade or a trend or a stock, Zakim is asking, what are some of the main reasons you're still not convinced? Awesome. So I'm going to speak on that right now, Zakim. Thank you for that question. I'm not convinced that CRON is done because we are well off the highs. We have retraced a large amount back to the highs, and CRON is holding its gains. Okay, now you can make an argument that it was at 22 today, failed breakout, and it's back at 21, and that's fine. But my counter argument is that the high is 25.10 from this move. I see it got all the way down to 1860 area on February 7th pre-market, and now we're at 21. We had a huge rip yesterday, and today we're basically sideways. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean basically? Well, today, yes, we are technically right on the day. CRON is right on the day. But when you look at CRON's recent move from the previous high to the previous swing low, we're not at lows. Okay, this thing is not bleeding out and failing hardcore, right? Now we're just being objective here. We're just going to be objective right now. Usually when we see something that's totally done, it dies, right? It's no secret. Something cracks that line in the sand support, and it's gone, right? We don't see that on CRON. All I'm seeing on CRON is a big short squeeze, okay? And stocks don't move straight up, and stocks don't move straight down. So it's not going to be straight up on the short squeeze. But as you guys saw yesterday, we nailed that squeeze. CRON today, I got faked out at the open for that squeeze. It tanked. I said, okay, what are you up to? You know, they're trying to trap shorts. Okay, now, like I mentioned, my approach is always on the opposite end of what the popular belief of something may be. I don't want to be the popular belief. I don't. I never did. I never do. I don't want to just agree with the crowd. That's not... Okay, so why is that? Well, you know that little funny statistic, 95% of traders lose? If you're following the crowd, you may not be in the best hands, right? So what's important is to track the data, start your analysis, name your setups, load them into a journal, and your journal will objectively tell you if you're right or wrong. That's the beauty of it. You know, we can justify bad behavior all the way to the moon. You could justify whatever it is. I'm not going to the gym today. Oh, I've done great on this diet. Let me have a cupcake. Our brains will always justify bad behavior. Always. Okay? But what's great about being objective, and when you are goal-oriented in an objective way, you can look at the scale and objectively say, I don't need a cupcake, I am not losing weight, right? You can look at your strength goals at the gym and say, objectively, I think I do need to go today because we're still not hitting the weight that I want to hit, or whatever. Same as trading. I don't want to be long here because data is showing me that this long does not work very often, right? So that's my approach. I've tracked, it's got to be close to 1,000 of these over the years, and I am not going to be shorting CRON. I'm not. Okay? If you are making money shorting CRON, like I said yesterday, if your approach is to short CRON, my advice to you would be, don't take my word for it. It would be to find about 20, 30 of these trades in history, and track them and see what they did. See what they did day 1, 2, 3, 4. See what they did when they started squeezing. So now we get into the real reason why I'm not convinced that CRON is going to die, is because all of these resistance levels on CRON have already been previously exhausted. Okay? Now, I spoke on this yesterday, but we have new members in here today, so I'm going to go over it again very quickly. I do not believe in taking support and resistance levels more than once. There is a saying, first test is best, and I live by that saying. Okay? So, statistically speaking, the data has proven that in my own trading, right, if I try and bounce a stock at, let's say, $20, and it's a successful trade, and traders have done business there successfully, and price has bounced off of $20, if price comes back down to $20, I do not want to buy it at 20 again. Okay? A lot of you guys understand that. I do not want to buy that support level again. Why is that? Well, there's an argument to be made as to relative weakness at that point. If the stock bounced off of 20 successfully, and the stock retraces back down to 20, do you think that that stock is particularly strong, or is it objectively weaker than it is strong? I'm going to ask you guys. Do you guys think that if a stock bounces and comes back down to where it bounced from immediately, do you think that that's a very strong stock? I don't think so. I don't think it is. I think that I would be very cautious trying to bounce that stock at that level again, and in fact, I'll just avoid it altogether. JSpec says no because it's retesting so soon. I agree. So I might try and look for a support level below that level. But I don't want to buy it again and just get dumped on it. Why would I do that? People have already successfully done business at that area. I don't want to be the last one at the party, no, it's time to move on. Yes, Cruz, that's what I'm talking about. Cruz is asking, are you talking about a stock dropping and then bouncing? So if a stock is dropping off of its highs and it bounces off of the level successfully and it comes back down to that level, I don't want to be buying that level again because I'm going to get dumped on. It's probably going to blast through that level and go lower where it'll bounce somewhere else. Hopefully. Right? So the same goes for shorts. And that's, JSpec says, at least probably wise, yeah. And that's what I'm looking at on CRON. All of these resistance levels have previously been tested. So I don't believe that it's going to fade. I don't believe that CRON is going to die completely. I have, and saying, objectively speaking, I have more belief that CRON will squeeze. And it did. We caught that awesome move, 2140. I alerted it live in the room. That was a short squeeze play. A lot of people made the big mistake of shorting VWAP there. Okay, you could see it. You guys see it on your chart? You can see it right there. They shorted the VWAP. Very foolish mistake, shorting the VWAP on a stock that is not backside. This is still considered frontside, in my opinion. So moving forward, can CRON die? Can it go to zero? Yeah, it can. If it does, I don't mind. I don't mind. Go to zero. But I'm not going to be shorting it. Okay, I'm not going to be shorting it until I see a ton of weakness. I'm talking about all these resistance levels, all these support levels. Throw them in the bin. I want all new lows from this move. That's when I'll be convinced that this is backside. You know, when we can get below 1872. Until then, hey, do whatever you want, CRON. But you know, I'm going to be looking for longs, and that's just my approach. Statistically speaking, there's a much higher chance of success going long on a stock like CRON than there is going short, in my analysis, in my opinion. So that's my approach. Rick K is asking, shorted VWAP meaning went short when it was above VWAP? No, I mean they went short into the VWAP push. I'm looking at a 1-minute chart today, and that would be 10:02 a.m. market time, 21:28. Yeah, Cruz says using VWAP as their risk and resistance. Yeah, you know, there's a very large issue with shorting the VWAP. I'm not going to get into that today because that'll take too long to talk about. We need our own session for the VWAP. Cruz is laughing. Yeah, Cruz knows how I feel about the shorting the VWAP pop. It can be successfully done, but there's a way to do it. Okay, so as you can see here, CRON dumped below the VWAP on the 1 minute, and it did retrace to the VWAP already at 9:35 a.m. market time. It didn't quite get all the way there, but it did. That would be considered a test of VWAP, a successful test. Then CRON popped up again at 9:41 market time, and it got whatever within 10 cents of VWAP again, and it faded off it again. So when price came and actually touched VWAP, traders, a lot of them, and you could see all over because of the squeeze that we had. So I can see that they shorted the VWAP. They didn't successfully take into consideration. They didn't take into consideration that it had already successfully tested the VWAP twice, even though it didn't touch it. Things don't always have to touch to the tick for them to be valid, and that's something that you guys should definitely take note of. So, as you guys know, Jaybird says so very true. Thank you, Jaybird. So as you guys know, while many people were shorting that VWAP, I said live in chat, I want to go long at 2140. So now we get back to my approach. I'm looking for the opposite of what the general population is doing. I want to outsmart them. I want to capitalize on their miscalculation. And that's what my trading is all about. You need to have a deep understanding of the masses and the psychology behind what they're doing, and you can create, hopefully, a successful counter argument to that. a successful rebuttal, if you will, in way of capitalizing on that miscalculation. And that's what I look to do. 2140. I said I was going long. It was a great squeeze. I was squeezing out all those dummies who shorted the VWAP. Now, why do I say dummy? Well, there comes a point in time in all of our careers, in all of our journeys, where if something is not working and we continue to do it and we don't track what we're doing, the only person to blame at that point is ourselves. We cannot blame the market. You can't blame the VWAP. You can't blame the market makers. You can't blame the algos. You can't blame the filings. You can't blame the company. You can't blame the time of day. You can't blame your car, girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife. You can't blame the Indian food that you ate last night that gave you heartburn. You can't. Okay? It's got to stop. Ultimately, it comes down to this is not a valid trade setup because the win rate is extremely low, and that needs to be identified. And that's why we talk about this stuff in Max talks about this. I speak on this. Things that, in our opinion, are poor trading approaches. Okay? Now, remember, what I say in this show is just my opinion. It's not necessarily the right way to trade. It's just my way. So what is this doing for you guys? It's providing value in your own journey. Okay? Either you find value in it, or I encourage you to test it yourself, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you'll say, hey, you're wrong. I have data to prove otherwise. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to clap, and there's going to be a huge smile on my face. You know why? Because I just encouraged someone to start tracking data, and they got so good at tracking data that they have proven me wrong on something, and now they're going to take that approach and most likely have a very successful career because now they have a systematic approach to their analysis, right? So I encourage that. If you guys don't agree with something I'm saying, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm saying I don't want to short VWAP. I'd rather go long because I saw it test successfully twice already. And we go back to one of my golden rules. Do not take resistances more than one time. Well, VWAP trade today on CRON was a prime example of that. Okay, so we covered a lot of ground. I want to take some questions now. You guys know me. As soon as I get the coffee going, it's hard to slow me down. So I'm going to mute the mic, continue to drink my coffee because I always feel like you guys can hear me gulping, and I don't want to do that to you guys. So please ask me some questions. Let me know how I can benefit you in your day today. Okay, we're back. We're back. J-Spec says he hasn't heard the gulping yet. You know, I never, you know, I'll be honest. I don't know how good the microphone is, right? I don't want to sit and clear my throat and drink coffee and whatever else in your guys' ear. You know, I'm just trying to be respectful and courteous to you guys. I have no idea. So I'd rather err on the side of caution instead of, you know, gulping and blowing my nose from the cold weather and all this stuff. I just mute the mic. Just whatever. Scalper, question. You mentioned about not shorting the resistance when it is going to be tested again, but I see the hardest pullbacks on double tops. What's the thought process behind that? Okay, This is a great question. This is such a great question, Scalper. I'm actually excited to give you my thoughts on this question. So there's two sides to the market, right? There's obviously the bulls and there's the bears. So sometimes, and this is why data is so important, because it'll tell you more times than not what a setup is going to do objectively. You can't argue with it. When traders, long traders, are looking to buy breakouts, they're looking to take the same approach as me, right? A stock successfully tests a level at resistance, it fades, and then it comes back up, and if it breaks, the breakout traders are all going to buy it. Okay? Now, like I said, there's two sides to the market, right? So if a resistance has been previously tested and it comes up and breaks that resistance, two things are happening. Number one, longs are piling in, it's confirmation for the breakout. And number two, the people who shorted there are getting squeezed. They have to get the hell out. Okay, they need to get out like yesterday. They need to get out immediately, right? So that's the two ways that the stock is being moved. You have confirmation from the longs saying, hey, we broke over this resistance, time to buy. They smack it, they go long. Then you have shorts saying, okay, I'm wrong, time to get out. And they all, it's called capitulation. They all cover, and then more cover, the stock spikes, and then more cover, the stock spikes, then more longs jump in, it's going crazy, and then the shorts are freaking out, I need to get out right now, that spikes the stock. The longs are like, oh my god, this thing is ripping huge, they buy, and then guess what happens? There's no more longs to buy, and the shorts are toast. It's going to drop. Okay? More times than not, it's going to drop. So look at the huge squeeze on CRON. We'll just use CRON today as an example. The VWAP example. Starts squeezing, and the shorts are like, okay, get me out. Then the longs are like, man, this thing is going to the moon. I'm buying, right? The psychology. We always speak on the psychology. Then we have a mass influx of orders being placed, shorts getting squeezed out, longs piling in, and what happens? The stock tanks and it fades. So CRON looks like a double top right now, only because the level below it was actually the squeeze, and it squeezed successfully into this double top, right? But if CRON can break 2185, in my opinion, it's going to do the same thing that it did at 2140. Does that make sense, Scalper? Do you find value in that answer? Does that resonate with you? Cool. Yeah, guys, that's my mindset towards this. Of course, you may see some awesome double top shorts, but trading a double top has not been successful for me, and that's why I refuse to participate in it. Double tops, the double bottoms, no. If there's a double bottom, I'm shorting that double bottom. If there's a double top, I'm probably longing it. I believe I'm under the belief that if has been successful business done at an area, there's no point to do business at that area again. Now, of course, I'm not saying that's the right approach. That's just my approach. Retail or what have you has successfully done business at that area. I don't want to pick up the scraps. I'm probably not going to make it out alive on that trade, on that transaction, and I'd rather wait for a fresh one. That's just my approach. Cruz says, would you say the same thing could apply to many things? Like not every resistance or support level should be used, only at certain and correct times. Just like VWAP, it's possible to use, but it has to be done right. Thoughts? Okay, so I do believe that, Cruz, and I thank you for the question. I do believe that once a level has been tested successfully, it's off my radar. In fact, I actually draw a red line at that, a big fat red line at that resistance level on my chart, if it's already been successfully tested. So in the future, I know not to take that trade again, at least on the side that I would have taken it in the past. It may be a long at that resistance level now, or it may be a short at that support level now. That's something that I do, and Cruz says, bro, you draw like 1,000 lines. Yeah, admittedly I do. My analysis is very thorough, and it works for me. It's just the way that my brain works, and it looks like a bunch of hocus pocus. But as you guys can see, the live calls do not lie. AMRS, the day before, I said that the stock should top out at 577. One day later, the stock topped out at 577 and tanked. Okay, so my analysis may look insane to some people, and I understand that. Sometimes it's even too much for me to dissect at once, and I need to really focus on what is happening, because I have my analysis is a series of mathematical equations, and this is it's very in-depth and thorough, and it takes time. And instead of continuously calculating these equations, I will calculate it once and throw up a line on the chart, and I know what those lines mean. I know what trade setup that signals in it, what that signifies. So that's my approach. Mike is a professional mather. You know, I think objectively speaking, it would be foolish for me to be a self-proclaimed math savant, if you will. But I do very much enjoy advanced analysis, and that's something that I look to participate in. Yeah. The thing about math is that some of these mathematicians that I've studied over the years, these guys are true savants. These guys are true geniuses, and in every sense of the word. And I am simply not on that level, but I do very much enjoy learning about it and trying to implement, you know, the math into my trading. And some would say I'm having a pretty good time doing it, and I'm just looking to learn every day. You know, like I always say, guys, every single day I'm learning. Every single day I make a mistake or two, and I'm not a professional. I'm not a millionaire. I truly enjoy learning and growing and charting. I mean, this is like a gift. Like, I'm not saying I'm gifted. I'm saying that the market is a gift. This is a gift to me. I absolutely adore the market and everything that it entails. I find much joy waking up and charting, seeing what's gapping, seeing what's going on. You know, you guys know that although it may sound insane, I'm at my desk for up to 12 hours a day, very regularly. Ask any of my friends, ask anyone. I'm absolutely number crunching for upwards of 8 hours a day, and that's what I find pleasure in. So, J-Spec is asking, oh dude, how's your foot? Completely forgot about that. Thank you so much for asking. I'm getting around. Yeah, I'm I'm making it work, you know. I could put a lot more pressure on it now. It's funny, I was joking around with some of my buddies. Now nobody can, now nobody can clown me for being at my desk for 10 to 12 hours a day because I can't really walk around that much, so I have an excuse to chart and do my analysis and continue to test my thesis, right? So it's a little joke. It's not a very funny one, but I find it amusing because I'm always getting messages from people like, dude, what are you doing? My buddies will text me or something. Dude, I called you like 4 hours ago. I digress. Anyway, guys, I think that we had a great session today. I think that we went over a lot of topics and points, and I thank you all for your attendance. I think that we had a great week. I'm really, really happy with the way that this week went, and we have so many new members to Mad as Money, and we thank all of you for being here. And yeah, guys, like I said, I'm not the best trader and I'm not the best talker, but if you guys are sitting in on the Micah Yo shows, I'm very grateful for your time. So if you guys don't have any other questions, then we're gonna head out now and continue. I'll continue to chart, and if I see anything, I'll drop it in chat and whatever. I will say this, CRON, I would still probably be long at 2140, and I would probably be long again at 2185. So, for what it's worth, I think that's all I see right now. J-Spec says, thanks again, Gino, Ricky, amazing time, Micah. J-Bird, today not great volume, but for all the new people, wait till Monday. You will see this room totally rocks. Thank you, Micah Yo, for the knowledge. Thank you so much, J-Bird. Cruz says, thanks, man. We appreciate every word. Andrew says, don't forget to post your book list later. Thank you, Andrew. I won't forget. Tony, what's up, man? Nice to see you, Tony. Zakim, yeah, thanks for the words of wisdom. You got it. Victory says, yes, thank you. Thank you for being here today and listening, Victory. I tend to rant, and I never promised that this would be a professionally structured show. It's more of a coffee-fueled and whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. It's more of a coffee-fueled get-together around the campfire. And I thank you guys for putting up with it sometimes because I go off on tangents and stuff. But the basic takeaway here is CRON is not a short, okay? If Richie loves campfires. If you love the campfire stuff, then tune into Micah Yo Show. But CRON is not a short, so that's my opinion. I'm sticking by it. As you can see here, it's very unfortunate, but the people who have been shorting these lows, look at the psychology behind this, guys. CRON has hit the lows or right above the lows, and very greedy shorts have slammed it short, looking for price to break those lows, and what happens? It rips. Look at that. Look at that. And this spike is actually those shorts getting squeezed out. It's, like I always say, I'm not the best trader, but my approach has been proven in my data, and I hope you guys find value in it. I personally hope, I would not be surprised to see CRON squeeze past 22. If it does, I'll be there. Trader Victory says, great session. Appreciate your attitude, humbleness, willingness to share your experience. I thank you so much for that comment, Trader Victory. Honestly, here's a message to you guys. All we can be is humble, okay? As soon as you start this pissing contest, the bullshit bravado, the I'm the best, all that crap, the market will bend you over and spank you hard. And I'm talking hard. It does not matter if you're Micah Yo. It does not matter if you're Warren Buffett. It doesn't matter if you're George Soros. If you make a mistake, the market is going to spank you. And we either, yes, Maya, absolutely, I love it. The market, guys, let me tell you, no one is exempt from a spanking from the market, okay? I have gotten absolutely wrecked breaking rules many times, okay? I've blown many accounts. When I speak to you guys in the Micah Yo Show, I'm not speaking to you from a professional standpoint, saying you should listen to what I say because I'm a professional. No, I'm not a professional. When I give advice, it's actually because I have lost my ass doing some of these things, and I want to help you from making the same mistake that I made. That's really what this is about. So you guys don't have to listen to me, of course. You don't have to listen to anyone, but I hope that some of the things that I say provide value to you. How am I able to catch these short squeezes so well? Well, because I was the guy that was getting squeezed. How am I able to catch these shorts so well? Well, I was the guy that was longing the top. That's just as honest as it gets. You know, if you get, you know, if you get into like a lot of fights and you get punched in the face enough times, eventually you start getting pretty damn good at dodging the punches coming, right? You get a lot better, and you're like, hey man, you know what, this really sucks, man. I really gotta not do this again. Hey, I saw this one coming from a mile away. And that's, you know, that's the market. I was the guy that was trying to short CRON down here back in the day, way back in the day. I loaded it into, you know, the journals, and the data showed me, hey, you know what, buddy, you're wrong. There's a better way. And I'm always open to that better way. So with that, I thank you guys for a great week. I really appreciate all of your attendance. And just remember, take everything I say with a grain of salt, because I'm not the best trader. I'm probably not the best trader even in this group that we're speaking with right now. I learned a lot of things from all of you guys. I'm absolutely not the best trader on Twitter. I'm absolutely not the best trader out there. But I hope that you guys find value in this. So with that, I'll leave you guys. I know it's always so hard for me to log off on Fridays because I don't want to say goodbye, man. There's so many friends in here. I've gotten to know so many of you guys, and you guys are true pals, and I like speaking with you guys. So let me head on out. It's time to hit the gym. JSpec says, looking forward to Mondays. Yeah, I am too. And remember, guys, we are having a webinar. Max is hosting it to go over a lot of the opening bell setups. Cruz says, you guys help save my soul in my 9 to 5. You know what? Here's the last thing I'm going to say, and then I promise I'll leave. Cruz says, you guys help save my soul in my 9 to 5. You know what? My hat is off to Cruz and to everyone that has a 9 to 5. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because in life, we do what we must do, right? But then the true dreamers and the go-getters are also following their dreams at the same time. And that's what Cruz is doing. He has a job. He's paying his bills. But you know where Cruz is at when he's when he's got his free time and he's not obligated to be at work? He's here learning. He's following his dreams. A lot of you guys have the same thing. You may work a night shift. You may work a day shift, and you may be, you know, you may have things on your watch list in the morning, and you're like, hey, how did this do? Write it down. Hey, how did that do? I know, and, you know, forgive me for this, but I got to tell this story. there's a guy in here, Jaybird. Hey, Jamie, are you in here, Jamie? Jamie is a great buddy of mine. I've known Jamie for a long time. And Jamie is in school right now. He's getting another degree. And while he's in class, he's literally looking at like an iPad, looking at all of his setups. I mean, this is nonstop. And he's not the only one. You know, a lot of you guys are doing this. I did it. You guys know that? I did it. I was working a full-time job, and I was looking at my phone. I didn't have an iPad. I was looking at my phone, my TD Ameritrade app, and I'm like, okay. And I had my little notes, right? I'm like, okay, this, it should get here, and this, it should get there, and if this breaks out here, it should go here. And like every 10 minutes, I was looking at it. I couldn't, you know, this is many years ago. This is like 6-7 years ago. But yeah, my boss would come around and close my phone. Yeah, nothing to see here, you know, just following my dreams. So listen, if you're working a job, there's nothing to be ashamed about that you're not a full-time trader. It's actually the opposite. You deserve a pat on the back, because not only are you handling your business and you're being a man, or in some cases you're being a great woman and you're taking care of the house and the family and the kids or whatever, but you're also following your dreams. And that's what dreams are made of. I mean, that's very respectable. That's very admirable. So congrats to you guys. Okay, with that, I'm going to leave. Jaybird says he's here. Great job to Jamie. He's a go-getter, and he cares very much about his work, and I know all of you guys do too. Cruz is probably at work right now. Sorry to put you on blast, Cruz. You're probably at work right now. Yep, he's at work right now. Oh, guys, this is great. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed today's session. I swear I'm leaving now, so have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys at the webinar, okay? Thank you so much, guys, for your time.